What's up, Coaster Demons? Today I will be ranking the top 10 roller coasters in New Jersey and New York. Now, I will be grouping these together, so some coasters in New York will be on this list, and some coasters from New Jersey will be on this list, so I'm mixing them together. Now, I have been to many parks in New Jersey and New York. Six Flags Great Adventure is my home park, so I've been there a ton of times, and I've been to some of the New York parks a couple times too, and some of the other New Jersey parks. But I go to Great Adventure mostly a lot. I was there the other day actually. So yeah, let's get into this countdown. And this is a pretty controversial list, so be prepared for that. At number 10, we have Viper. This is an awesome aero looper that pulls some really good forces, is really snappy in the back row, has one of my favorite inversions actually with the bat wing inversion. That is a really good inversion that pulls some really good forces on the valley out of it actually, like in between the inversion. This is just a really good aero looper. I wouldn't say it's a top tier aero looper, but it's still a really fun ride with some great inversions, and the drop in the back row gives some really good floater airtime actually. So Viper is just overall a really fun ride. At number 9, we have Medusa. This is a awesome B&M four-wheels coaster. All the inversions on this ride are awesome. The ride is decently fast-paced, actually. It used to feel more slower-paced, but then they changed the wheels last year, and it feels a lot faster than it was as Bizarro. The ride has some snappy inversions, like the Zero-G roll is really snappy, and the Cobra roll is also pretty snappy. I like the fire effect out of the dive loop. This ride is just overall a really fun four-wheels coaster. It is my second favorite four-wheels coaster I've ridden so far, only behind Dominator at Kings Dominion, which they're one spot apart actually on my rankings. But Medusa is overall just a great B&M four-wheels coaster that is just a really fun ride and is a top 3 B&M at Six Flags Great Adventure. At number 8, we have Batman the Ride. I have always loved Batman the Ride clones. They are just really good and snappy rides. The one in Six Flags Over Georgia is definitely better than this one, but this one is still really good. It has some really whippy inversions in the back row. The Zero-G roll is insanely whippy, actually. The ride feels very fast-paced. Every element on this ride is just really good, and you just go through it really fast. Some days this ride does run slow, but other days this ride absolutely hauls. But this is just a awesome B&M inverted coaster. I've always really liked Batman the Ride clones. And this one is no exception. I've ridden two, this one and the Six Flags Over Georgia one. And although I like the Six Flags Over Georgia one better, this one is still really good and a awesome ride. Number 7 is TMNT SHELLRAISER. This is an awesome coaster with some awesome inversions, and that launch is absolutely insane. It feels like you're getting rammed by a semi-truck in the back because that launch just boosts you forward so fast. All the inversions on this ride are really fun. In the front row, it is really shaky, but in the back row, it is butter smooth, this ride. My favorite inversion on this ride is the banana roll right here. You just get snapped right through it, and it feels like you're going really fast through it. The Beyond Vertical Drop is my favorite part of this ride. You just get some crazy airtime on that, like some really good ejector airtime. This hill right here provides some good airtime, but mostly it's just floater. The ride actually feels pretty fast throughout the haul duration. The ride isn't that forceful, but it still is a really fun ride, and by far the best coaster at Nickelodeon Universe. This is just overall a really fun coaster that you definitely need to check out when you go to Nickelodeon Universe. Number 6 is Ride of Steel. This is a really good intimate hyper coaster with some great airtime moments, especially the final hills and that hill after the first helix, as that provides some really good ejector airtime. The helixes actually pull some really good forces on this ride, and the ride does not feel slow at all like some people say. I thought the ride felt pretty fast-paced, actually. The drop actually provided some pretty good airtime, honestly, and I wasn't expecting that. The first Camelback also provided some pretty good airtime, which I heard the first Camelback wasn't too great on this ride, but I thought it provided some really good airtime. This hill right here is absolutely insane, though. Like, you get some great ejector airtime on it. The helixes pull some good forces, especially this one right here. This helix probably pulled the most forces. And the final hills on this ride provide some really good ejector airtime and end the ride off with a bang. And the T-bar restraints are not very restricted at all, so you can get a lot of room on this ride. So This is overall just a really good intimate hyper coaster and by far the best coaster at Six Flags during the week. Number 5 is by far the most controversial opinion on this list. Green Lantern comes in at the number 5 spot. This ride is amazing. It is so intense. It is really snappy. It is butter smooth. Throughout the past 2 years, this thing has just moved up on my rankings so much. It has just ran better and better every year, and this year it is by far running the best I've ever seen it run. It is so good. Row 6 on this ride is definitely the best row. This ride is just really good. I love how fast you go through the inversions. This ride never loses its speed, it feels like. The drop off the mid-course towards the back row provides some really good airtime. This is just overall a really, really, really good ride. Top 5 at Great Adventure, in my opinion. This is just an awesome coaster. And I've never understood the hate for this ride at all. It is butter smooth. It is fast-paced. It is intense. This is just an awesome B&M. That is definitely the best B&M at Six Flags Great Adventure, in my opinion. Number 4 is GALEFORCE, and this is just a amazing coaster with some amazing airtime. The launches aren't too powerful. Well, the second launch and the third launch are actually really powerful. The first launch, not really, but that's mostly just to start gaining speed. But this ride is fantastic. It's very snappy. The airtime on this ride is really good. The restraints aren't great at all, but the airtime makes up for it. The ride is pretty shaky, actually, but the airtime is just absolutely ridiculous on all the airtime moments. This ride just feels out of control at some moments. I used to not like this ride, actually, at all a while back. However, then I rewrote it last year, and I just realized how amazing this ride is. This is just a fantastic coaster with some amazing airtime moments, and this is just overall a really good ride, and by far the best coaster on the Jersey Shore. What an amazing coaster. Number 3 is King Ka, and this is an amazing coaster. The launch is so powerful. The ride is extremely intense. The whole ride is intense, and the fact that you're just soaring up into the sky, 456 feet in the air, and then go straight back down through this spiral right here. This ride it never loses its momentum. It is just a fantastic coaster. The final airtime hill actually gives some good floater airtime, but that launch is just absolutely insane. The ride is extremely intense. This is just overall such a fantastic coaster. By far, in my opinion, by far the best launch coaster in New Jersey. It is just so, so good. And I don't understand why some people criticize this ride for the restraint. The restraints aren't bad on this ride at all, in my opinion. This is just overall such a good coaster. And definitely a coaster you need to check out when you go to Great Adventure. Number 2 is Jersey Devil Coaster. This is an awesome and extremely underrated RMC. The ride provides some really, really good airtime, and it's very snappy in the back row. The ride never loses its speed. It used to when the mid-course brake run was hitting, but now that the mid-course brake run is off all the time, you fly through every single element. This ride is so, so good. It is just an amazing ride overall. I don't understand why people say this is a weaker RMC. In my opinion, this is actually near a high-tier RMC. This is a really, really good ride with some amazing forces, some amazing airtime. The inversions are awesome. This is an amazing ride, and by far top 2 at Six Flags Great Adventure. However, it's nowhere near the best coaster at Great Adventure, as that honor goes to El Toro. This ride is absolutely amazing. It is currently a top 3 coaster for me. The airtime is absolutely ridiculous. Some of the strongest airtime on any coaster I've ever experienced, and probably some of the strongest airtime on any coaster ever built, honestly. This ride feels out of control. It never loses its speed. Every single moment of this ride feels out of control. The airtime is ridiculous. The drop is amazing. One of my favorite drops of all time. Those 2 camelbacks, you're literally standing up. The airtime is so strong. The rolling Thunder Hill is absolutely incredible. My second favorite airtime moment of all time is actually the rolling Thunder Hill. This ride is just absolutely insane. The twister section is really snappy. And the final airtime hills provide some really good ejector airtime, actually. This is just overall a fantastic coaster. It is amazing. It is by far the best coaster in New Jersey and New York. Out of those 2 states, this ride is just amazing. A top 3 coaster for me overall. I love this ride so much, and it is just incredible and one of the best coasters in the world, in my opinion, and a coaster you have to check out when you go to Six Flags Great Adventure. So yeah, that is my rankings of the top 10 roller coasters in New Jersey and New York. Make sure to like this video, also subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next time. Keep coasting on my coaster demons. Peace out.